Hey guys, how you doing? It's Tyler Austin with MyGeekCentral.com. You can see what I did here. Looks a decent bit different. It still doesn't look good at all. But, we got our text align on the bottom now. It's a line on the top. Still says hello, I blabber. I created a new div to put on the left side. So now you can see this is your main page here. This is your content. I called this content left. So you can make this a sidebar and create a list right here, and then have a welcome page right here, and then your about page is all. This is all the same. These bottom links down here work. Now the only thing that needs to be done with this web page is just creating your margins and your and whatnot. Which a margin is the distance between the divs. Like the margin between the header and this nav bar is 20 pixels. Okay, and you can have a margin around either side. So say you don't want to have a margin any farther from the top, but you need to be a little bit farther from a box over here on the right side. So you'd margin right 10 pixels to get that spacing between them. And then these contact buttons, you notice how these aren't like touching like this one up here. That's because these have what's called padding. Okay, there's a padding on the whole under list or unordered list around the box itself. So there's basically it's like if you're thinking about sticking a piece of paper in between your mouse and your mouse pad. You're putting a padding in between the two. It's the same difference between these buttons and the box. You're putting that pixel padding in between the two. And then we did the same thing with the buttons themselves. There's a padding around the whole button in between the buttons so they're not touching. And I made the whole background blue. So I'm gonna go over the text with you real quick briefly, and I'm gonna put this whole text together, this whole file. I'm gonna save, and you're gonna be able to have this. Okay, so you can break it down. You can put it up in your your exam, and you can look through all this, and you can break it apart yourself, because that's the only way you're really gonna learn. You can watch as many videos as you want, but if you don't actually type the content, you're not going to be able to know what to do. And then I'm going to be coming out with other tutorials that you can watch, how to make a banner. So that's not just this black in the background. Okay, how to, what is padding, what is, I'm gonna be coming out with tutorials on each individual thing. Quick 3-minute tutorials, 4-minute tutorials on each individual thing. I just wanted to get this series out there so y'all could see the start to finish. And I got one more series to go, or not series, but I got a couple more tutorials to go on how to upload this to the internet. And I'm actually going to be taking down my whole website to put this up there. So I'm gonna take off all this content from my hosting, and I'm gonna go through it with you, and I'm going to show you how to actually upload it. You see this? Only 63 views. We gotta get that up, and hopefully y'all are watching this right now doing that. Subscribe. Watch my videos. And that's about it. Oh, you know what? I gotta go over this with you. I bring it up, but I didn't do nothing with it. Okay, as you can see, I created another div. Okay, I got my main div. Okay, which everything's within. I got my content, then my left content, and that left content is this right here. Okay, then I got my header, which we talked about. body, which is all that blue, that's your body color. The body color is all the hyperlinks, or you see these. This is all the body color. Until you define it differently, it's gonna. Until you define anything differently, it's gonna make everything in the body that same color. And as you can see, we made that yellow. If you were to go into our text down here, we made it yellow, right? No, that is yellow. This is yellow. I made all the links yellow right here. Okay, so background's blue right here. Color, we're saying font, making it 18 pixels, and then we're giving it different text. Okay, basically what this is going to do is it's going to try this text first. If your computer doesn't have that text in there, it's going to default all the way down the list until it finds one, and if it doesn't, it defaults to Arial, or I forget which one. Anyway, navigation bar, we covered that there. Our underline code, okay, let me break this down. You got our underline code, okay, which is the whole thing. Okay, so that's going to be the whole thing, which is meaning if I take I go like that. It's not letting me do it. It's not letting me do it. Anyway, that's this whole block right here. That's your UL, okay, this whole thing right here. Then our LI is a space between there, okay? And then A is the actual link. So when we go on CSS, the ULI, we're saying display inline. So we're saying display these LIs in line with each other, which is what we did here, okay? Then we're margining them right, which is why there's that space in between them. Okay. There's a 20 pixel padding between, or margin between these two. There's no padding between those letters, or there's no padding between the I'm sorry. There's no padding between the header and the UL, or the navigation bar and UL. There's only a margin. List style type, none. Okay. Text transformation, we made it uppercase. Text decoration is none, which means we took away from those. If I were to take that out of there, it would do this. Put those lines underneath of it, which we do have. You know, if you notice when we put our cursor over top of the bottom link, that line reappears. That's called a hover, and we'll show you that in a minute. We're gonna say none again. Resave. See? Navigation ULLI, so we're saying when you hover over top of the anchors, your text decoration is going to be underlined. And then anything in navigation with P is front weighted bold. Main page stayed the same. Content, I made it 850 pixels to fit the left content within. If you add the 350 and the 850, that equals 950, so that gives us a little bit of space in between the boxes because the main page is only 1260. Okay, if you were to not have a left content right here, the footer would try and be up in a left content. So if you're not going to have if you only want one single block on here, make sure it covers the full distance, because if not, your footer is going to want to pop up in there. That comes back to what I was talking about before about setting margins and making sure these boxes don't push and block, bump each other out of the way, because if you don't have the pixels right, this is going to end up popping down here. For example, if this was 850 pixels, it's going to pop down and it's going to shift over to the right, and it's going to be halfway right here, and it's not even going to pop up in that little slot there. Kind of like I can't think of that one game. It's been out forever on I think it came out on Nintendo. Take all the blocks and you got to put them together. You can't reach the top, or else you have to restart. I don't remember the name of it. Anyway, same concept. Footer, did the same thing. Footer is 960 pixels. We stay the same. Text align center, which is what this is right here. Made it so the text aligned in the center, and I do the same thing right here. This is floated left. I forgot to cover that. You can make your pages float, okay? This is floating right. As you can see, it's in the right side, and this is floating left, okay? If you don't do that, it's not going to work. It's just not, okay? So, float left, float right. This is floating left, that's floating right, okay? Our padding is 10 pixels on there, which is why this is 10 pixels from the top. Oh, line height is 130% in between each line instead. Overflow auto, which means that we can stick as much content inside of this box as we want. It's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. Okay, background color we covered. Same thing here. Inline, margin right, text transformations uppercased, no decoration. Text decoration, it's going to be underlined whenever we hover, and anything P is going to be bold. And basically, okay, why it says P bold, let me show you. Okay, what we're going to do inside of our footer, it's the wrong one. What we're going to do inside of our footer is we're going to have a paragraph. And I'm just going to copy and paste mine because I don't have that line right there. And it's going to have the copyright on it. That's why it's bold, because you want that text bold. So it's going to put that above there. Cool. That's going to be it for this tutorial. I just wanted to briefly go over everything, explain what happened here. I'm going to put this text on my website to be able to be downloaded. Or I'm going to actually, I'm going to copy and paste this text rather instead. That'll be a little bit easier onto the website. And then, yeah, you can go ahead and you can take it, you can modify it. You got the ground, you got the basics now that you can go off of to, make it more appealing. Okay, subscribe. Place your comments below if you have any questions. There's more videos going to be coming out that's going to, talk a little bit more about things. I'm probably going to just use what I already got right here and modify it myself and then do little tutorials about this one here. So, okay. We'll see you in the next video of this series. We're going to upload this site onto the internet rather. Alright, cool.